Hey there. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Cookie B. As you know, I am Cookie B, and we about to get this party started. Now, it is 4:59, and at 4:59, that's when I go live to give you time to come on in, grab your drink, grab your libation, whatever you're drinking, a little snack, as we have this conversation before the weekend. Now, hold on. You know I'm shuffling my cards. I have no statement shirt on today because after this, I'm going to, excuse me, smoke and flow. Smoke and flow is an event that's going to be happening at Cap and Ash Cigar Lounge. So that's what I'm going to be going. Now, I know you guys have been wondering what we're going to talk about today. Well, we're going to talk about something good, but it is now 5 o'clock. So let's get this party started.
Ooh, hey there. Conversations with Cookie B. We can talk about anything. Conversations with Cookie B. We'll talk about everything. Everything, my baby. Ooh, yeah. Everything.
Yes. I decided to go back with my theme music that was given to me by Mark Perry, one of my classmates. Hey there, Godiva. Hey, Kelly. Oh, thank you. Yes, you know how we switch it up. You know how we can always switch it up. I just decided, I'm growing out of this pixie cut. So I got me a couple of units, and then I decided to switch up the color and stuff like that. So, we can do that from time to time. All right, so let's pull a card. Hey, D-Lo. Let's pull a card to think about something positive for the weekend. And this one popped out at me as soon as I spreaded it. And it is connect. Let me advise you, connect. Find your center. When we stay connected to our spiritual core, the best and the most advantageous path unfolds before us. So, hey, let's stay connected this weekend. Stay connected this weekend. So I'm going to give y'all time to come on in here. Come on in. I got my tablet sitting here and I'm trying to make sure that I can read some of your comments if I don't see them up at the top. So give me one moment as I click on that. There we go. Let me click on this and turn it down. But at least I can see y'all comments while we're talking. And let's get this party started.
Hey, beautiful.
Hold on.
You've got a text message.
Thank you, baby, for telling me I got a text message. Clear all. And then I apologize. Give me one moment, you guys. Let me turn this Bluetooth on. No, I don't want the Bluetooth on. Okay. All right. So now we're going to talk about the birthdays today. Ooh, I don't even see myself. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's talk about birthdays today. My drink. I am drinking kombucha. Now, this is kombucha, but I had some leftover Pepsi as my daughter made some salmon bites and some French fries today for dinner. And I'm sure that the kombucha and the Pepsi are not supposed to be together, but it is. I just put it in the same container and said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and drink that. All right, you guys. So today, Black celebrity birthdays today. As we know, it is Lala Anthony's birthday. She turned 44. Jimmy Walker, remember him from Good Times, Anytime You Need It. He turns 79. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. 79. Barbara Montgomery, the beloved actress, widely recognized for starring in the sitcom A-Man and the film Meteor Man. Raven Goodwin, she's 34. She played in Lovely and Amazing, Good Luck Charlie, and she also played in Being Mary Jane. Candice Patton. Candice Patton is an actress known for her starring role as Irish West in the superhero movie Flash. Erica Gimple. Erica Gimple is a multi-talented actress and singer, famed in her role as Coco Hernandez in the television series fame, and Dexter Darden, an actor recognized for playing Fry Pan in The Maze Runner, as well the Maze Runner. He's the black boy in the Maze Runner trilogy. I think I remember seeing that. Coy Stewart, he's 28. Young actor for his roles is in Are We There Yet? As well as Bella and the Bulldogs. Elijah Johnson, actor and R&B singer who performed as a member of the boy band Mindless Behavior. I remember them. Today is also Beyonce's sister birthday. Solange Knowles turns 40 today. Eddie Floyd, soul singer and songwriter, legendary for his hit in 1966 for Knock on Wood. Supercat, iconic Jamaican dancehall artist, Mozzie. Mozzie also is 39. He's an acclaimed West Coast rapper. I ain't heard of him, but that's okay. In sports, we have Benang Mathiba. She's 39. She's an award-winning South African television presenter and radio personality. And Monet Davis, 25. She's a history-making former Little League baseball pitcher who became the first girl to earn and win the Little League World Cup. And in memorandum, Dikembe Mutombo, born in 1966, died in 2024, legendary NBA Hall of Famer, and Tiny Lister Jr. Y'all know him as Debo from Fridays. So those are the birthdays for today. Hey, Kelly. Also today in Black History, June 25th was the day that we all found out at one time that Michael Jackson had passed away. In 1941, Franklin D. Roosevelt signed an executive order, 8802, desegregating the defense industry and creating a fair employment practices, which are not fair right now, to ban discrimination in the workplace. 1949, Billboard magazine quietly made a massive cultural shift, replacing the outdated race records charts with the rhythm and blues charts. Didn't know that one. 1968, Lincoln Alexander made history in becoming the first black member of the Canadian Parliament. And in 1998, legendary R&B singer Marvin Gaye was born on this. Marvin Gaye was not born on this day. Marvin Gaye was born April 1st and died April 2nd. Well, we know that the internet is not always right. But today is the day that define history where Michael Jackson passed away. All right. So now we done got the preliminaries out the way. Hey there, Mark, what's going on? Your song was my intro today. Hey there. I played this song today. Now, I want to give y'all a little update. Sebastian, I want to give y'all a little update. Haven't heard from Calvin, but you know, he's probably busy working and that's okay. I think I told you guys yesterday that I heard from Will. Will is busy working, and you know, whenever he would Will, come on in here. I was just talking about you. Hold on. Let me see this. Is it coming in? Hold on. Click on it. Accept. Add. Will, I was just mentioning your nephew. Hey, Will. Hey there. Can you hear us?
Man, I can hear you. What's going on?
Hey there, Will. We have been missing you. Everybody in the chat. Will is driving in today. Will is chiming in today. I'm so grateful and thankful. I was just getting ready to talk about, what's his name? Calvin. Calvin hasn't given us an update yet, even though he promised that he was going to give us an update. Calvin has not given us an update yet on his engagement. I hope it is still going on.
Because I got questions.
Yeah.
I got questions.
I think we all got questions. Mark, you say what happened? Oh, then Will has been busy working, and you know, whenever he chimes in, he's doing his couples ministry, so he hadn't been able to chime in, but we're so glad to have him on today's show. I do want to let you guys know I was going to take it easy on today because You know, Thursdays is usually a light crowd. You guys go back and watch it afterwards. But I want to give you guys a little update. So I post a lot of my content that I've been making. I've been putting it on TikTok. And when I tell you, I gave you guys the other story when the man called me, told me F you, and I had to just get off TikTok. But I went back and started reading some of the comments. So you guys know I had the Tuesday, I had the concept of, I don't understand the concept of, and you fill in the blanks. So one of the ones that is on TikTok right now is the concept of men when they get their hair cut, they draw those white lines, and then I never see them come off. So, of course, a bunch of men were like, well, you're not a barber, so you don't get your hair cut. Okay?
Well,
what does that have to do with anything?
You know
what does
why,
that have to
right?
do with anything? Huh?
You know why? So part of that is they spray so that you can get the line crisp, right? So it's all set. But now, and I'm going to put this out there, we get enhancements. So let's say your hairline is back there. They can put enhancements to bring your hairline back.
Yes. Now
there's a few of them that, and because if you see somebody touch somebody's head and you know that enhancement about to come off, yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
I was laughing because in the comments, most of them, like you're not a barber, so you wouldn't know. Some man said he is a barber, but he uses a razor to get the crisp line. I just found that those men were like really offended because I said, I don't understand the concept of that. But I responded to one of them saying, well, as a licensed cosmetologist, then I said, never mind. Thanks for engaging. I just let it go like that.
But also, when you said as a woman, remember what I said. Whatever a woman says, if it's negative in any kind of way, it's a double punch. Man, I was like, whatever, dude, blah, 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 blah.
I wasn't even trying to be negative. I was just saying I didn't understand the concept.
I'm trying to tell you, if you're not uplifting us or making us feel good about ourselves and you say anything contradictory, now I'm going to put it to you like this. Have you ever been in a group of men and you're making comments and y'all going back and forth and that one person don't say nothing because he ain't really cool like that, but then he'll slide one in and all of a sudden you light him up and now he feels 10 times small because everybody looking at him like, bro, what are you even saying? What are you talking about?
I don't understand that. But one of them did say, well, we never one of them said something about the concept of cutting your hair off and then getting extensions. I said, good one. I'm just like, yeah, I never understood the concept either. Well, a lot of us women, we will cut all our hair off and then turn around and get extensions. Why? I don't know. Now, I can understand this because as you guys know, I done switched up my, the color. I done put a different unit on. I'm growing my hair out of a pixie cut, so I don't want to touch it. I just want it to grow. And I know that if I have it exposed, all of my gray, I'm going to start curling in it every day. I'm going to start doing this, and then I'm not going to trust the process, which is growing it back out. So I just wear, quote unquote, a protective style. Hey, Coco. So he could have came back with that.
Why does it matter?
And that's the thing. I just laughed because I just said, I don't understand the concept of that, but it's just to make a sharper line. It was just a conversation piece. But I found it very, very hilarious that the men were really, really chiming and going in on that little comment. And I'm like, it's not that serious. I can honestly say, and Will, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. A lot of the videos that are on TikTok have been getting a lot of engagement. A lot of people are watching them. So it is really, really, really funny. I wonder who does Stephen A. Mark, I wonder who does Stephen A. Smith's hairline either. I do. I wonder.
Let that go. He needs to let that go.
And he is the most. Michael Jordan let it go. Michael Jordan just said, let me just shave it all off. I heard LeBron, now this is just what I heard LeBron had went over to Russia or somewhere and got the little dots put in so it looks like your hair growing in. Then I looked at him the other day and I said, well, he just cut all his hair off. So I don't understand the concept. I don't understand the concept. Now.
Look up Carlos Boozer, and he had the ink like drawn up there. It was bad. It was just like paint. It was like pure paint. But anyway,
Yes, the basketball player.
yeah. Just
Oh
just
yeah,
Google. Yeah,
I just did.
he
Yeah,
threw his in.
he cut it off now. He let it come on in.
And
Sebastian
congratulations to
says,
his son being the second or third pick in the NBA draft this year. Just want to throw that out there.
"Oh, congratulations! I see that now." His former Cavs player, Carlos Boozer, I see that he's a proud dad. Very
Yep.
proud. So congratulations to him. Sebastian says, "Why? We're old and have gray hair. Who's braiding Stevie Wonder's hair?" Mark, shut up. Mark, who braiding Stevie Wonder hair? I don't know, but I'm going to get off that topic. I just thought it was hilarious. I cannot thank you guys enough for supporting me in this journey, as well as go on there and follow so we can have more engaging conversation. Now,
And
and
share. Please share.
yeah, follow and share. So I really do appreciate that. I'm learning. I'm enjoying this process as we go, y'all. So please, let's take the time to enjoy the journey. Now, this is something that I wanted to talk about, and I'm gonna keep it light this Thursday because I know people are, going to the weekend. But I was having a conversation with someone, and we were talking about, quote unquote, the American dream. Now, the American dream,
Okay, I'm sorry.
and I want to ask you guys, and you can put it in the chat. What is your idea of the American dream? Because we talked about, and I talked about this this morning. This is what brought it up, and we were saying how times have changed, how we want to always do better, how our parents wanted us to do better than them, and also how we want our children to do better than us. So when it comes to the American dream, I'm going to read the AI overview, which is funny because the American dream is the national ethos that anyone, regardless of their background, can achieve prosperity, upward social mobility, and happiness through hard work and determination. Its psychological roots lie in the Declaration of Independence, but the specific phrase, was popularized in 1931 by James Truslow Adams. So I want to talk about the core content of the American dream. Now,
Can I add in real quick? And you
go
know,
right ahead.
as long as you've known me, I say the same thing when somebody says, "How are you doing?" I say, "I am living the dream, sleeping the nightmare." And you've always asked me what it means, but we're going to talk about it today because I guarantee it resonates in the hearts of every African American male. But go ahead, we can get started. I'm ready.
No. Go ahead, get started. Because when we were talking about this on the phone this morning, we were just talking about. I said, you know what? I said, everything that's going on in the world right now, we're trying to understand how are you coping. Everybody is going about things differently, but we still are cognizant of what's going on in the world. Now, of course, we have been saying this as a people, Black people. We ain't in this fight. We sitting our Black asses down because we've already been through it. People have to get mad enough to change. Now, some people did help us out back in the day because they abolished slavery. They really realized that this is not, we are all human beings, because if I bust your head, you bust my head, we still gonna bleed red blood, period. But just based on the color of our skin is not a real reason to dislike someone unless they do something to you, which ingrains in us because of slavery. We think all white people ain't done nothing to us. There are some good ones out there, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to the American dream, we have the white picket fence. Let's get a home. Let's work. Let's get your dream job. Let's go to school. We had all this, and now it's been.
Whose dream did you just describe, though?
Well, that's what I've been, everybody. Well, let me say, I've been describing the dream of adults with children. We want them to grow up, buy a home, get their dream car, get their dream job, same as we did. Like, hey, we made it the best way we could, but doesn't seem to be happening when there aren't any jobs, when wages are not livable. So I want you, because that's partly what we want to do is just survive. But I want you now, Will, to tell us the meaning of when you say, I'm living a dream, sleeping a nightmare.
Yeah, because, and I say it like this, the American dream wasn't for non-Americans, right? We aren't native to America. We were brought here. The American dream started with the settlers, right? Living the American dream, going out on the frontier and taking whatever they want, right? Because again, you got to remember, we talk about Christopher Columbus, who didn't even know he was here, right? Leif Erikson was first. But we talk about them settling, saying, hey, we discovered America, right? And then you walk in and you do what you did and you colonize and you brought slaves or whatever, you start taking over the West. See, the American dream wasn't set up for us. And then when we fought and things did change, there is a doctrine that I would love for people to read and understand, right? So first of all, understand two concepts. One, we're a republic. We're not a democracy. And the more you understand it, if you don't understand it, go watch Star Wars. It'll explain what a republic is, right?
Star Wars?
Star Wars. Star Wars is based on the American concept of a republic, right? Not sovereign citizens, but republic, right? Because, again, you can't vote for president. You can only vote for what you want somebody to represent for your vote to be. Because, again, when you only got to get 270 votes, yeah, I think it's more Americans than 270, but that's another concept. That's a republic. But the other concept,
I'm following you. Go ahead.
Yep, and the other concept is this. There is a doctrine that said, why are we doing separate but equal? Meaning, Boyd versus the Brown in education. Why are we going to give education to black people and white people, and why is it going to be different? And this is what it's going to do, and it's going to be inferior. There is a doctrine that says, so why do we think that if we give them school that is hard, that they're going to do it? They're going to be lazy. They're going to be settled. Then we're going to give them other things to do that they're not. Because they, at the time, the graduation rate in white school was 70%. We were already behind, so what made us think that we were going to reach those numbers? So what they did was they said, okay, give them their teachers in their communities and give them the same stuff. Just give it to them and guarantee they're not going to go to school. Now, fast forward to 1960s and 70s when the highest dropout rate for high school ever was, right? That's when they started with juvenile principals, right? Truancy officers. People weren't going, right? Not segregation, I'm sorry. The projects started popping up, right? Welfare was at an all-time high. Men were taken out of the homes because you couldn't get welfare with a man being in a home with a job, right? And
correct.
So I say that because, again, this is 1960s, and the reason it's prevalent in what I'm saying is because I was born in 1976. So my parents went through this. My parents went through a struggle situation, did well for what they could do, got real estate, business, whatever, focused on me, whooped my behind when it came to school, right? Had no choice, had to do it. Grateful now, understand it. But we were behind, right? A graduating class because white America went to a school and there were 20 people in a classroom. Black America, the average person, went to class with 34 people in their classroom. Now, we had behavioral problems. We had all kind of issues that we had, inferiority, because we didn't get kindergarten. We didn't get books. We didn't get some of the simple things that they got early in life, and we had the discipline problems in there. Then we started things like, oh, my shoes are better than yours. It's just a regular kid stuff that the discipline didn't go in there, so the focus of education wasn't the same thing. Parents going through the civil rights movement, things of that nature, fighting for just simple rights. Now, my generation, and again, I'm 50 years old, my generation with my kids, think about this. We weren't supposed to spank the kids, right? We were the lighter generation. We were the recovering kids of spanking. So we were told, don't spank your kids, right? Because we know how it felt. But then our kids started messing up in schools like, well, wait a minute, I don't know another way. And so you start spanking.
That's soft parenting.
And soft parenting. Now the next generation is even worse. The dropout rate is one of the highest that it's ever been. Now, if you get caught spanking your kid, right, they're not called ISB or IDC or whatever it is they label you in school that stays with you.
Or something like that.
Yeah, which stays with you. And I say all that to say is this is what's going into the workforce. Undisciplined. Not showing up. Now, as a person, and I'll be transparent to everybody, as a person that's worked as a Walmart store manager, a Sam's Club club manager, managing 30 people. Do you know the number one reason why we terminate people? Not showing up for work.
Attendance, yep.
Right. You can't show up for work. You beg for a job. You come in there. You can't show up for work. Every time I've done an orientation, and we do our whole little spiel, we talk about money. We talk about what you can achieve. And I promise you, I'm not bragging. I'm just being honest. I'm an example of a Walmart store manager. I've made no less than $500,000 doing it. The bonuses are phenomenal, right? But I kid you not, the turnover rate is 70% because of attendance. 70%.
So
every orientation, every orientation, I preach free education. That's what one of the company benefits. Do you know how many people take up the free education out of 100? Two. Free school. Free. All you gotta do is sign up. They don't do it.
And the thing is, in order for us to get anywhere in our lives, we need the almighty dollar. So if your goal is to, and not even saying that that's your goal, but if you need to work, why can't you show up for work? How can you achieve any of your dreams without money? Now, be it whatever your dream is, believe me, whatever your dream is, it's your dream. The American, quote unquote, and I'm using that term very, very lightly, because when I say American dream, I'm really only saying the only thing we want is food, shelter, and a quiet life. Now, if you live through drama and all that stuff, based on my show and my ratings, we too old for that. But our goal is just to let me make enough money to retire and still live out the rest of my days, spoil my grandkids, stuff like that. So when it comes to the American dream, I'm just like, is that dream now deferred? We ain't gonna be able to do a lot of stuff because now you can't retire. They don't want you to retire till you're 70. Social Security, they don't want to give you your money till you're 70. And y'all know I'm always like, look, if you need to work 60, you ought to be able to draw your Social Security, period. If you started working at 20 years old, you work 30 years, okay, when you get to 50, you can retire, but you can't draw benefits till 60. I think 60 should have been the age limit. But then they want to tell everybody, oh, y'all living longer. I don't know how we living long with y'all messing up all the food we eat, but I digress. Now, how we going to live any dream, or how are you going to do anything when we are living through these times? That's the part I'm just not understanding. What is going on? And there's so many people, and he and I were talking about this morning. We have been bamboozled. We have been thinking that, oh my gosh, these other countries are so worse. No, they're not. We are now becoming the third world country.
Time out.
Go ahead.
Now I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and this you know I do it well. We don't take personal responsibility for what we do. And I'm going to say it like this. We are all given the same opportunity to go to school. We are all given the same opportunity to see what this world looks like in our teen years. In our 20s, most of us don't make a conscious decision to say, okay, you know what? I see what the future looks like, and let me go back into school. Let me go lock in. We will go to the clubs. We will go out and party. We will go out. We will spend thousands of dollars for prom. Like that's the graduation. Oh yeah, I'm bringing that up, right? Where we've got the fake money or even the real money. We got the wedding dress, right? We like stuff that you're never gonna achieve in life. You're gonna live this imaginary thing for that one night. When the reality is, we're not teaching financial literacy in class. We're not teaching them, hey, be responsible, right? Lock in your 20s, work as many hours as you possibly can. In your 30s, gain those skills and get a higher paying job. In your 40s, manage whatever you were just doing. In your 50s, be an executive of it. And in your 60s, start working on your retirement. And in your 70s, you walk away, raising your grandchildren and living your best life. Now, you could take that same example and you could say, okay, I don't want to work for somebody. That's fine. Do the same thing in your business. How much focus, and you see the shirt, maniacal focus, right? How much maniacal focus do we as a people do of anything? Like, do we actually take the time and say, okay, I want to be a radio host, so let me go to school and find out what I got to do. Let me start understanding broadcast journalism. Let me do all the things that somebody's done. If we say we want to manage our own business, okay, let me go take business classes, understand the ins and outs. Let me go intern with somebody. Let me go learn. right? You want to be a lawyer? Let me go follow a lawyer. Let me go get my paralegal, get my feet wet, then go and pursue it. We don't maniacally focus on something because if you spend 10 years of doing something with all your power, all your effort, all your maniacal focus, that makes you an expert. And I challenge anybody that says they're not making it in life, what have you done for 10 years and put all your focus into it and not had success in? Okay,
Now,
I'm on my spot.
no. That each point you've made has been great because I think about it, and I'm going to go back a little bit because we think about in Oklahoma there was a Black Wall Street.
Yep.
We made it. We had everything, and they burned it down. I get it, and I'm not trying to relive it, but I have always said if you can sell drugs, you can run a business. Man. Because you already calculating how much you got, how much you gonna make, who all working for you, where you gonna distribute it. I'm not understanding how many of us are not in business for ourselves. Always said that. Jay-Z.
Do you remember Harvey Collins in Chicago? Remember the whole couple of blocks he had locked up on 72nd? I think it was 72nd and Woodlawn. That whole area he had locked up.
Over east. Yeah.
Yep. So think about Harold's. We saw it. We watched it. How many Harold's Chicken Shack you know of? So you telling me in Vegas we can't have somebody that gets simple chicken, simple stuff, fry it, be that good at what they do, price reasonably, put everything into it, and open up multiple businesses?
Now,
it can be done.
I'm going to be playing devil's advocate because there are people out here selling plates. There are people out here that can or try to live their dream or their businesses, but we can't get loans because of the color of our skin.
No, ma'am.
I came across something on Facebook where we only have, I want to say it's 8 black banks, and I'm going to look that up, but they won't even give us the money or anything because something still, and this is, and it's not an excuse that people use. It's the truth, because you may go with your plan and say, I need this kitchen because I make the best plates and I can't sell them out my house no more because I'm growing. So now I'm going to get me a ghost kitchen. I try to rent it, or I try to go and get a business loan so that I can expand, still to be shut down. So we left doing it on the sneak side, just like everybody else.
Time out.
Go ahead.
You can rent a food truck for $1,400 a month. No excuses. You can rent a food truck.
Well, that just became popular, though. I'm just saying, back in the, people, they couldn't do it, but now you can. So now when I'm trying to build my business, and I know that there are plenty of people that I can get me a food truck, I can do this, I can do that. But now, and I have to say this because we get so many people who think of excuses, it's not an excuse anymore because now the cost of chicken wings have gone up. The cost of fish has gone up. So now what plate I could get for, $15, $20, you charging me $50?
I hear what you're saying, but by the same token, you know it and I know it. You can walk into our favorite hole in the lounge and somebody then drop $50 for a plate of oxtails. So if there's a will, there's a way, there's a clientele. You simply have to make yourself opportunity. And again, that's why I say it's 10 years of maniacal focus. It's 10 years of not. If you want to do something bad enough, you will find a way. You will find a way, right? And again, I'm using Chicago. I don't care what is it that Mama didn't have enough money to go into Woolworth or Goldblatt's or Kmart or Ventures to buy socks, but she can go right over there to Jewtown and get enough socks and underwear for $5 and a whole thing of rags for $5 and get whatever she needed to make sure that she had to do what she had to do. Am I lying?
No.
Exactly. So if there's a will, not being funny, there's a way, right? There's a necessity. So we just got to get past the excuses. You simply got to do it. And I think that's the problem, is that things sometimes get hard. And I'm not saying they're not difficult. By no means am I not saying they're difficult. But, again, that American dream is set up so that it is difficult. It's not for everybody. But like you just read at the beginning, it takes hard work, motivation, perseverance, something that we have as African Americans that we don't even realize. It takes grit. Go look up what grit is, but it takes grit. It takes that unwielding, and every drug dealer has it. It takes that forgetting about the law, and you got to do whatever you got to do to feed your family, right? When we needed to eat, we had to do what we had to do to make it happen, and that's what it takes. So,
But that's
all
the
of it.
thing. We
Go
as
ahead.
black people, we have struggled the most. We can do it. Why
Yeah,
is it that we're not doing it? We can take over the world. We are
absolutely.
vastly becoming the majority. Everybody loves soul food. Everybody's trying to mimic our bodies, our hairstyles, our make lips, everything. There are more women that's going there talking about, yeah, I'm learning how to do lashes. Yeah, I'm trying to put, yeah, putting Botox in your lips. We saying we got it naturally, but we've been mimicked so much. Why is it we not commercialize it? Why are most of the, and I hate to bring this up, most of the hair stores owned by Asians? When we the ones buying hair, now mind you, white people been wearing it for the longest, but it was more like we thought we already, your hair just growing because the texture was always theirs, but I digress. Now that we have come so much evolved, why is it that we don't have more beauty supplies catered to us? And I hate to say this because it makes us become separate but equal because all hair textures are not the same. We damn sure know they don't eat like us. But then the Hispanics, they'll go get a soup. Sebastian just put in there. They'll roll tamales, make tacos. Them black people, we the hustlers of America.
Right.
I don't understand that. Why is it? And that's
we
go ahead.
don't legitimize our businesses. First of all, there's two things, and I always argue this all the time. We don't support black business because we will find any fault that we can in a black business and then use it against them. We will go to somebody we know and say, hey, can I have a discount? But you're not going to that white business saying, can I have a discount? Can I have the homie hook up? Right? You paying full price and this is nice or whatever. So, no, we don't support it the same way. But by the same token, and I say this, the majority of us, and if you say, hey, let's meet at 9 o'clock, right? More likely, I'm there at 8:30 or 8:45 at the latest. You notice I'm in church now, and they don't start at 6 o'clock, right? But I'm here, right? I'm in the parking lot. But the majority of us, we will show up late. The majority of us will have an argument.
Hence the term CP time.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, so when there are events, you start getting this in your head like, man, it ain't going to start at this time, and it's going to be a problem here, and it's going to be a problem there. And so, yeah, that's the stigma that goes with it. And again, I'm not knocking Asian people.
No, we're not.
I'm not knocking any people. But what I'm saying is we support all these businesses because we don't go in and do what we're supposed to do. Not always. And I'm not saying it's easy. I'll never say it's easy because it's hard.
Okay.
But anybody that opens up a business, anybody that starts a business, it's hard. I watched my parents do it. They did a barbecue restaurant on the south side of Chicago in a Hispanic neighborhood, and it bears fruit. It did extremely well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same principle, same. There was a taco place right down the street and a pizza place right across the street, and my father was bartering with them, so we was eating pizza, they were eating ribs, right? And we did what we had to do, but I say that because I watched them, right? I was the little kid at 9, 10-year-olds getting firewood and stacking it up, cleaning out a fryer, ringing the register, making change, right? I was involved in the business. I understood business at a high level. It was not easy for my parents. I mean, and I know it wasn't easy for my parents. But I looked at my aunts and my uncles, and there's no disrespect to them. They were BSing, doing the same thing. While my parents were owning property, they were moving into the property, right? Because they needed the hookup. And so, did they support the business? Yeah, they come out and help all the time, but it wasn't a big deal. You get what I'm saying? And I say all that to say, the one thing that I took from my father, and I hold it dearly, is my father always said, the thing that separates a man and the thing that separates a boy is that a man will do whatever he has to do no matter what, where a boy will give up the minute that it gets hard. And he said, son, you always got to be a man. And
I totally agree.
And that principle goes with anything you do, right? What would the man do? And then I tell my son the same thing. What would the man do in that situation? My son got mad about something. I said, okay, so you can be a boy about it and go pout and go whatever, or you can be a man about it.
Yeah, and that's
Right.
part of it. We have similar backgrounds. Like I said, I come from, and I didn't think about this until I got in my 30s, like an entrepreneur background. My father was a contractor. He started TMB General Contractors, where he had to kind of sometimes underbid the white man. And then, to do a job, but he had to prove himself. Yeah, and that's why it was so many times the people he did work for was like, Mr. Batiste, you can stop. My father would work from sun up to sundown and say, I'm going to get this done so that he can say, you gave me a month. I'm going to do it in 2 weeks. And
Right.
I'm just like, but I watched the work ethic. He get up. I got to go to Lee Lumber's. I got to go get so much plywood. He come back. I got to get so many nails. So when it comes to any type of thing that we're doing, it's some type of business or entrepreneurship in the background. We're just not recognizing it. Whether I'm, like I sell cakes on the side, just whether you're doing any type of slight hustle, we all have the ability to use what we have to live, quote unquote, our American dream, whatever that may look like. And even in having this discussion, we are not negating anybody. Nothing. It's just that facts are being facts. I am seriously, and after this conversation this morning with my friend, I was going, what are we really doing? Why is it that education is not important? Why is it that, nobody really wants to be a teacher anymore? Because, yeah, we talking about these badass kids that want to fight in the hallway. I'm not understanding what the generation has to prove. Why you want to fight? Why are you mad?
Because they don't have home training. They don't have accountability.
Ooh.
I know if the teacher called my mama or my daddy, or if they said your mama here, oh Lord, no, she here? She done took off work? Oh nah, never
It's
again.
funny right now when you say that. It's funny right now because if my grandson, who's 2, if I say my daughter's name like loud, Kanai, he runs. And I'm saying to myself, now I know she ain't done nothing to him to make him that scared. She does not spank. I mean, she may pop every now and then, but she does not spank him. She talks to him in a manner where he can understand because we know he's 2. But let me say her name, Kanai. If he's sitting right here and it ain't even related to him, he will run and hide. And I'm going, what you done to my grandbaby? But I don't want him to be scared of women, number one. But I do recognize the fact that you got that fear of your mama in you. Because like you said, if the school call and they say your mama coming, oh, he gonna know it.
Mm-hmm.
We are trying to figure out, like, well, why is he reacting like that? At 2. At
Right.
2.
Because
And I just
again,
said,
but that's a healthy fear. That's a healthy fear. That's a healthy fear.
yes.
There's accountability.
It is.
To this day, and I love my daughters dearly, but they know if a certain tone, they grown. If a certain tone come across, they know, okay, Daddy, I'm sorry. We went too far with it. Oh, okay.
Yes. Now, Mark says hard is an illusion. Hard isn't resistance. It's a gap in the clarity, the space where understanding hasn't fully arrived yet. Well, I don't know what else we need to understand, Mark, because right now I'm hesitant. When I say I'm hesitant, I sell my cakes with prices going up, and I get it. I love selling my my bundles for $5. I love it because I just, it's part of my gimmick. It's part of my, hey, I got that cake. What you need? $5. Because anybody can relate to that in their mind, even though they be thinking I got weed in the cake. I do not. But I'm just saying it's just my mother's recipe of butter pound cake. But then
that lemon off the chain, y'all. I ain't gonna lie.
Thank you. The cost of doing this and even trying to pass it on to the consumer is just like, okay, how can you survive? There's so many businesses, and I'm bringing this up to say there's so many businesses now that I've seen, major stores closing, because they're realizing now this shit is trickling down. I can't go to Marshall Fields, quote unquote, or Dillard's or Macy's like I used to when I get my check. Because guess what? You really want me to pay $89 for these shoes? When I know before all this mess happened and that man got in office, these was $50, $40. You're going to tell me that when we importing and making this material, this shoe is really worth this? Too many things. I think stores are closing because they are really, really realizing how Americans think now. And nobody's profiting except those 1% at the top. Nobody's doing anything. And I don't understand why, as we as America, quote unquote, land of the free, home of the brave, have enough to go around. Why are people homeless and we starve? What our dream is to eat, to have a roof over our head. Why do somebody want to kill your dream? Please don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Please don't. Okay, that was just a song. I just don't understand it. Did I lose you? Hold on.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm listening. You know, my spirit be touched about like I say again, it is living the dream, and I think anything is possible to a point. But I'll always say this: the race that we run to success, we're always 5 to 6 steps behind our counterparts that are standing at the same line, starting the same race.
I don't understand. So, I've heard that analogy when they say, you know, the white man already has. I never understood that, how they would come out of high school and like, how you get a car already? And I know my parents working hard.
But I got one for you. And
Go ahead.
this is fact based. This isn't me making this up or a statistic. This is fact based. I watched a certain young lady go to medical school, and there was a class of, I don't want to mess it up. It was a class of 100. Let's just say 100.
Okay.
There were 4 black people in that class of 100 doctors, right, or soon to be doctors. The next year there was 2. The next year there was 3. And the 4th year, I think there was 1. Now, I had the opportunity in her senior year to go to her black student union for medical school. And when I tell you, the room for a school that is a prestigious school in Chicago, private school at that, you could pass the microphone and introduce yourself to everybody in less than 20 minutes. Right?
Wow.
That's how small it was. And I simply say that because this is before they took away DEI and affirmative action. Right? So what I found out doing more research, and it was explained to me by even somebody that worked there are so many slots for minorities that they had to fill. The minute that went away, we weren't filling those slots anymore. When those slots didn't exist, they were literally not, there were classes with 0 African Americans in there. Now, this is the problem. It's twofold. That's why I say you live in a dream, but you sleep in a nightmare. Imagine, and again, this is personal knowledge. Imagine walking in. You're a doctor, been doing it for 10 years. MD on your coat, right? All that. You walk in, and a Caucasian person turns to you and says, "Oh, I want to speak to the doctor." You're the nurse, and they say, "I am the doctor." No, give me a white doctor. It sounds like something out of the 70s or 80s. No, we're talking about 2025.
Wow.
Now, I simply say that because you would think a white person said that. No, it was a black person. I want a white doctor.
So now you don't trust.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because they think, even though you went to the same school and you got the same graduation, and you might have went to that white doctor. Now in every class, there's an A student, a B student, and a C student. Now I can confirm she was an A student, but you'll go to that C student doctor, but because they're white, you believe? Come on, man. And I promise you, it's still happening to this day.
And I believe
we treat our own with disrespect. We treat our own like we're not nothing. And then people will have the nerve to dig deep down inside and want to say, well, we want to respect black business. We want to respect. I challenge anybody. If you're in Las Vegas, look up how many pediatricians are in Vegas, and then look at how many are black.
Oh, wow. Now, I believe that. I believe that. Hey, Piggy Boo. Hey, Tracy. You're right. And that is the issue. It's not, Tracy said it's not now. It's been that way. Now, Dolores says, hold on one moment. Let me get this one big up. And Dolores Delo says, I came up in Chicago, and if you failed, you repeated the grade. And it then became embarrassing to fail. So they passed the student on unprepared. They passed the student on unprepared to the next grade. To me, the plan to set up for failure, that's when it begins. Now I agree with that, because nowadays ain't nobody, they don't repeat, they just drop out. They just drop out totally. And
well,
that's
remember,
what I don't understand.
That was the whole proclamation of No Child Left Behind, where they were passing on attendance. But I got something even better for you.
Go ahead.
When you get a chance, because I'm about to jump out because I can't be late. But when you get a chance, look up the average reading level of college sophomores, and I guarantee you're going to be shocked by that, because
now,
they're nowhere.
Let me ask you before you go, why college sophomores?
Because the admissions level that they were getting these kids in as freshmen in college, and they were trying to figure out why so many freshmen were doing so poorly going into their sophomore year, and they found out the reading level that they were doing, and the numbers will shock you.
You know what? I'm surely going to look it up, because I can't understand that. I'm like, why is it a sophomore? And I'm sure there's a reason why it's the sophomore issue, but the average reading level, you guys, we're going to look this up. The average reading level for college sophomores, because I'm waiting on my computer to come back on, but I'm not understanding that either. And I know you have to go. I surely am. Thank you for today's conversation, because I was taking notes when I was having the conversation with my friend earlier, and I was just like, what happened to we just talked about living and the like, what happened to just growing up, and we Gen X, we grew out, we drank out the water hose. We played 1, 2, 3, Mr. Fox, what time is it? We played so many, and I was going to talk about that too, childhood games. We watched Woody Woodpecker beat Tom and Jerry. Nowadays, maybe we need to get back to that. Because when that mama came in, I don't know.
That whole Pepe Le Pew pedophile, just manhandling women like that. That might have been a little
He
wrong.
was manhandling. I think he was just persistent, awfully persistent. And then he got her, and then he said, I'm going to love you. Not knowing, and this is the funny part that I looked behind the scenes, it wasn't even a skunk, it was a cat.
Well, I mean,
so just because you got that stripe on the outside don't mean we the same.
So was that a metaphor for men are always chasing the cat no matter what?
Yes.
All right.
You caught that.
I'm going to get out of here. All right. Let me go to church and be holy people. All right.
You caught that. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Will. Oh, my earring came off. Thank you, Will, for chiming in. Have a good one. Pray for us. Pray for us. Pray for the world.
Always.
All right. Love you. Thank you. All right, you guys. I'm going to look this up, because I'm going to get the information for us all to know. You're right, D-Lo. We came up in an era where you couldn't repeat the grades. And if you did repeat the grades, it was embarrassing. Very embarrassing. Because we like, man, you 10 and you in the 4th grade. No, is that right, though? Well, you 10 and you still in the 3rd grade. Whichever it is, it's not correct. Not correct at all. So what I'm doing, I'm waiting on my laptop to come up, because I am curious to know sophomore level. Now, a lot of us, when we went to school, we always had that speech. Look to your left, look to your right, because I guarantee you next year they're not going to be there. Now, I don't know why they did that all the time. It was not encouraging at all. But things come up. So many things come up where you can't. If your financial aid didn't get through, if your parents wasn't able to afford to go to school, afford to send you to school, then yeah, of course you weren't there the next year or the next year because of financial reasons. Mark says, figure out what matters to you, try and live it, and make things better if you can. Whatever better is for you. Love with a backbone. Understand true authorship. Pass on the understanding of, wait a minute, hold on a moment. Pass on the understanding of authorship. Okay, because we do need to do more. Sorry, more accountability. My laptop is just white now. We do need to handle more accountability. And I think that once we can admit in the slightest little things, whether we right or wrong, I think it's going to cause a whole world change. Now, when I was talking to my friend earlier on the phone, we also talked about, do y'all feel a shift? A shift in energy, a shift in, I don't know. Last night I sat in my backyard. And of course, you know, I must tell y'all, I love living in Vegas. It's 100 and some degrees at night. As long as the sun ain't out, I'm doing good. But I sat there, me and my grandson came out there with me, and I'm just sitting in the backyard, just having a cigar smoke. And I just happened to look up at the sky. And in looking up at the sky, I was just saying, my grandson said to me, Mima, that's the moon and the stars. And I think of so many sayings that we have, regardless of shoot for the moon. And even if you fail, you'll still be among the stars. I think about so many things and so many goals that many of us have had and then strayed away from. Why? Now, for whatever reason that your dream, you know, got delayed, deferred, denied, or you just got too old, you're never too old. I just want to say, too, I'm just worried about the American dream. And like I said, when I say American dream, that is whatever it looks like for you. Be it you getting your dream job, be it that you getting the house that you want, that's your dream as an African American, period. When we think about all of those many things that we desire, and some of it is just simple, just to wake up the next morning and live another day. I'm gonna look it up. What is? Hold on. Let me do it by sign. What is the average reading level of a college sophomore? Wow. Now I'm looking this up, y'all. And this is the answer that AI gave me. The average reading level for a typical college sophomore is generally estimated to fall between grade 13 and 14 for the second year of the university. This equates to reading comfortably at an early to mid university level. Now, when it says 13 to 14 grade, that means that if you're a sophomore, you're still reading like a freshman. That's what this is saying. Now, in looking this up, I'm not understanding why that's so low. Now, to me, it's not really low. We're on track because it says the typical college sophomore is generally estimated to fall between 13 and 14. So you're still on level. This equates to reading comfortably. And then the average reading speed is 300 to 350 words per minute. However, Literacy Matrix show a wide distribution, heavily depending on the student's background. Wow. It depends on the student's background. The national comparison, college students generally test significantly higher than the general adult population. Really? We're going to do more about this, y'all, on Tuesday. But I want you, because I know it's getting up on that time, I want you to continue to live out your dream, whatever that may be. Mr. Donna Dignity, I love listening to your music as well as your commentary. Y'all, whatever it is, you're never too old to live out your dream, no matter what that looks like. As you guys already know my story, I walked away from corporate America, whatever you want to call it, and decided I want to do something that I can enjoy and make a difference. I want to do something that's reasonable for me. And not saying that I didn't make a difference as make a difference as a supervisor for welfare, but I wanted to be more in control of my own destiny. I wanted to be more in control of, I know that part of my being and growing up was an entrepreneur spirit. So I wanted to venture out on my own because it's in my DNA. My grandfather was a cook on a ship, and culinary was his thing. I got into food. I do a lot of stuff that I'm interested in, but it comes natural to me. Cooking comes natural to me. Natural. So it's like I always tell my daughter, if you can read a recipe and follow directions, you can cook. Anybody can cook. You can do whatever you want to do. And I want us to continue to do, and I will pray for you, and I pray that you pray for me, live our American dream. So you guys, I want you guys to have a wonderful weekend. I pray that you guys enjoy your weekend. It's hot in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm going to, and I wasn't supposed to, but I think I'm going to bake this weekend because somebody asked me, was I going to have some cakes? And I like that feeling. I like that feeling. Hey, I got that cake. What you need? I got that cake. They need to hear my positive lyrics. Yes, they do. I can't tell you which one I like because I listened to 3. I don't know the names off the top of my head, but I am going to post it on my page and tag you and say, you guys take a listen. I'm going to post it on my business page as well as my personal page, Mark. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, you guys, it's now 6 o'clock. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Conversations with Cookie B. I want you to tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for another interesting and exciting episode. Conversations with Cookie B. We can talk about anything and we can agree to disagree. I've learned a lot on this conversation. And I hope you join me on Tuesday. I love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. See you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.